seen.
Well, Andrew, we've been getting a ton of information from the Monroe County Sheriff, who says that this situation is absolutely chaotic right now. He tells us that even today, more migrants arrived here.
You've been Cuban migrant crisis unfolds on Florida coast.
But now we're told Border Patrol is backed up here as well. We want you to look at these numbers now. Since October,
Move to the left a little bit. You're right in the middle of the light. Oh my fucking God, here they come.
In the last 5 days, there have been more than 30 migrant landings throughout the Florida Keys, and typically this area sees 1 or 2 landings a week. The Sheriff's Office is helping Border Patrol during this spike, but tells us this is unsustainable.
Border Patrol is overwhelmed at our level, that we're having groups of migrants having to sit on the side of the road for long periods of time, waiting to be picked up, processed, or taken care of. We actually had the other day, we called for a pickup for a group of migrants. They were so busy, they told us they may not be able to arrive until the following day.
Now, the vast majority of migrants are coming from Cuba. Since October, Coast Guard crews have encountered more than For more context, in 2021, crews encountered 800 Cubans during the entire year. Now, with these increasing numbers, Andrew, the Monroe County Sheriff is now asking the federal government for help.
You can't. They can't. They're not in the frickin' Congress isn't even there. Congress is defunct. They said earlier that Congress is nothing because there's no leader. My fucking word, what's wrong with these people? Make a fucking decision and get over it. My fucking word. Assholes. Everyone down there are just fucking assholes.
Biden said today that the United States would immediately begin turning away Cubans, Haitians, and Nicaraguans who crossed the border from Mexico illegally. It's his boldest move yet to confront the arrivals of migrants that have spiraled since he took office 2 years ago. So these new rules expand on an existing effort to stop Venezuelans attempting to enter the country, which began back in October. That led to a dramatic drop in Venezuelans coming to the southern border.
But you can come in if you're Mexican.
Expanding of Title 42. So remember, just after Christmas, the Supreme Court ended that Trump-era public health law. Excuse me, they did not end that Trump-era public health law.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you got it wrong, buddy.
Still in place. Apologize there. And now the Biden administration is using it yet again. And so let's hear what President Biden had to say at the White House today. Vice President Harris was standing behind him as he made this announcement. This, of course, ahead of this trip he's going to be making to El Paso, Texas on Sunday, ahead of his visit to Mexico City next week. Let's listen.
Today, Vice President, I'd like to talk to you about how my administration is dealing with our situation on the southwest border. Now, these actions alone that I'm going to announce today aren't going to fix our entire immigration system, but they can help us a good deal in better managing what is a difficult challenge. On my first day in office, some of you may recall, covered this area, and they cover it well. I sent Congress a comprehensive piece of legislation that would completely overhaul what has been a broken immigration system for a long time. Cracking down on illegal immigration, strengthening legal immigration, and protecting dreamers. Those who with temporary protective status, and farm workers, who all are part of the fabric of our nation. But congressional Republicans have refused to consider my comprehensive plan. And they rejected my recent request for an additional $3.5 billion to secure the border and funds for 2,000 new asylum personnel, another asylum officers and personnel, and 100 new immigration judges, so people don't have to wait years to get their claims adjudicated, which they have a right to make a claim legally.
Claim my ass. Go the fuck home.
The comprehensive plan has increased the challenges that we're seeing at our southwest border. No one knows this better than the Vice President. And to truly understand what's happening,
Where? I don't see her.
Back and see the bigger picture here. You know, I know it's hard to see, but because our politics has been so divisive, you know it's getting much better, you've all observed, but it's been so darn divisive that it like clouds the picture. I mean, it clouds the picture. But let me explain what I'm going to do, and as clearly and plainly as I can. I know it's a complicated issue. I don't want to pretend there's anything easy about it. People come to America for a whole lot of different reasons. To seek new opportunity in what is the strongest economy in the world. Can't blame them wanting to do it. They flee oppression, you know, to the freest nation in the world. They chase their own American dream in the greatest nation in the world. And the story of America is the story of so many of your families, including mine, going back to the mid-1800s from Ireland. Now, there are a number of ways to immigrate to America legally under our existing laws. For example, an American citizen can sponsor an immediate family member from another country.
Fuck
An
you!
American company can sponsor an employee from another country.
Bite my...
Visas for students to study in our colleges and other special categories. And regardless of the legal pathway they process them to require everyone be involved in following the law. That's the notion. There are laws to get here legally. That includes another legal way for someone to come to America by seeking asylum because they're fleeing persecution, like a lot of our ancestors did as well. And for many people, that's what's happening on our southwest border now. Over the past several years, thousands of people have been fleeing from Central and South America and the Caribbean countries ruled by oppressive dictators, including Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and escaping gang violence, which has the same impact
In L.A.
Currently, these four countries account for most of the people traveling into Mexico.
All cops are gangs.
By getting to the American border and trying to cross. But instead of safe and orderly process at the border, we have a patchwork system that simply doesn't work as it should. We don't have enough asylum officers or personnel to determine whether people qualify for asylum. There's a standard by which you have to meet. You don't.
They all qualify to get sent home. Never mind qualify for asylum. Send them all home. Jesus Christ, Joe. What the fuck is wrong with you, you dirtbag shithead? Who's that bitch behind you, too? Stupid idiot.
It was designed to deal with the pandemic, but it's used as a means to expel people at the border. People turned away under Title 42, and they're not, and trying to come back. They've been turned away. They go back. They try again. They try again. Well, you know, they can and they do try to re-enter the United States again and again, which makes the problem at the border even worse. And under the United States Supreme Court decision, a case on Title 42 later this year, my administration will make a decision, finally, what to do about Title 42. In the meantime, my administration will continue to use that authority as the Supreme Court has required. And until Congress passes the funds, a comprehensive immigration plan to fix the system completely, my administration is going to work to make things better at the border using the tools that we have available to us now. Today, my administration is taking several steps to stiffen enforcement for those who try to come without a legal right to stay.
Send them all back.
Put in place a faster process, I emphasize a faster process to decide a claim of asylum. Someone says, I'm coming because I'm escaping oppression. Well, there's got to be a way to determine that much quicker for people who are credibly seeking protection from persecution. Secretary of Homeland Security Marcus will detail these actions very shortly after I finish at Homeland Security. But here's one significant step we're taking. Over the summer, we saw a huge spike in the number of Venezuelans traveling through Mexico and attempting to enter the United States without going through our legal processes. We responded by using and ensuring that there are two safe and lawful ways for someone leaving the country to come to America. That was one of the reasons you were proposing. First, if they're seeking asylum, they can use an app on their cell phone called CBP1, O-N-E, CBP1, O-N-E. That's to spell it out, not the number one. To schedule an
Oh, God, good one, Joe.
and make their asylum claim there without crossing the border unlawfully and have a decision determined by an asylum officer, do they qualify? Second, in October, we worked with the Mexican government to launch a new parole program. There's another program called, you all know it, but the public may not, called the parole program that immediately showed results by reducing the number of people crossing the border unlawfully. The way this parole program works, one must have a lawful sponsor here in the States who agrees to sponsor you.
I sponsor them all to go back home.
That person has to go undergo rigorous background checks and apply from outside the United States and not cross the border illegally in the meantime. If they apply and their application is approved, they can use the same app, the CBP1 app, to present at a port of entry and be able to work in the United States legally for 2 years. That's the process. But if their application is denied, or if they attempt to cross into the United States unlawfully, they'll be returned back to Mexico and will not be eligible for this program after that. So if there's making the program available, if they apply and they do it properly, fine. If they don't apply and they try to come through, they're not going to have an opportunity to deal with the program. This new process is orderly, it's safe, and it's humane.
No, it's not humane. The Americans are getting screwed.
The number of Venezuelans
This guy's an idiot. Who the
without
fuck
going through
voted
the
for this
process
clown?
has dropped dramatically from about 1,100 per day to less than 250 per day on average. That's several hundred people on average every single day who are not crossing into America illegally.
Well, send them
Today,
back,
I'm
for
announcing
Christ's
that my
sake, you
administration is
idiot.
going to expand the parole program for
Nah,
people
I've had enough.
not only from Venezuela,
Goodbye.